But yeah, if you ever have issues with, I mean, occasionally I am not in the right meeting. I mean, that has happened. So, but if I don't see anyone in the first 5-10 minutes, usually send a message. Just always message me or call. We'll get it figured out. So,
Okay.
all right. I got the first question up on my side. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Get started here. So 4 times a number plus 3 times a second number is -9. So they're calling m the first number and n the second number. So 4 times a number, 4m. 3 times a second number is -9. Do you see how I came up with those values?
Yeah.
All right, so the next one is twice the first number plus the second number is 3. What do you think goes in that first box down here for twice? And then for the 3?
So it would be 2m and then n equals 3.
Yes, you got it. So nice little starter question. You'll probably have to solve these. Let me know if that is the case or if it's a different question altogether.
I didn't have to solve it.
Good. All right, so go ahead and share your screen whenever you're ready, and we'll look at some more questions. There we go. Now I'm seeing your screen. Little delay here. Okay. All right. So this one requires you to write the system and then solve it. So I'll definitely grab a snip here and share my screen. The one thing to keep in mind is that the variables are the things that they're asking for. So in this case, see where it says oranges, dollars per pound, that's going to be your X. Bananas, dollars per pound, that's going to be your Y variable. Let me go ahead and share my screen now, and we'll take a look at this together. That's an important thing to remember for the test there. So this is X, this is Y. So we have 5 pounds of oranges, 5X, and 2 pounds of bananas, 2Y equals 14. Three pounds of oranges, 3X, and 6 pounds of bananas, 6Y equals 18. That's a lot of bananas. That's kind of a joke on the Facebook groups, teachers groups. People don't like, 500 pounds of bananas. That's kind of unrealistic. So,
Yeah.
all right. Now, what kinds of ways have you guys been solving these in class?
Um, mm, what is it?
So you don't necessarily need the names, but typically you and I have done graphing, which I would not graph here. That will take too long. The
Yeah.
next is substitution. That works really well if one of the variables is already solved for. Now you could actually solve the second equation for X or Y pretty easily. The third is what's called elimination. Do any of those sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Which ones?
2 and 3.
2 and 3. Okay. So this is probably an elimination problem. We're going to multiply the first equation by -2. You're going to multiply everything in the equation by -2. All right, so this becomes -10x. I'm writing the result down here. Sorry, -3, not -2. I apologize. The reason it's -3 is 2 times -3 gets you to the 6y to get rid of. So -15x minus 6y equals -42. And then we add the equations vertically. All right. So we have -12x equals -24. How do we solve this for x?
Divide each side by 12.
-12.
Neg -12.
Yeah, so x is 2. That's the oranges. So you have no idea if that's expensive or not. Oranges aren't really in season right now. To find y, you use the one of the other equations. So I'm going to use that second equation. 3x plus 6y equals 18. X is 2, so I'm going to put 2 in for x. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 6y equals 18. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. 6y equals 12. Divide by 6, divide by 6, so y also equals 2, which is really expensive for bananas. Bananas are like 80 cents a pound or something. They're very cheap.
Yeah.
If you So the idea is you're going to write a system of equations. You're going to solve the system. And then you have to back substitute in for one of the variables to find the other.
Okay.
All right. So this is a new problem here. I'll grab a snip. No repeats quite yet. So this is a classic test question. You've got kind of this upstream and downstream situation. Did you guys do any problems in class like this?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let me set this up here for you. All right. So there's this upstream or upwind, downstream. So when you're going down, that means your rate is added to by the river or the wind. But when you're going up, your rate is being taken away by the river or the wind. Does that make sense why it's subtracted for upstream and added for down?
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing here is that the distance that you go is your rate times your time.
Hmm.
That's the other thing here. Um, the distance in both cases is 18. Your rate is R minus W for up and down or upstream. And your time is 4.5 hours. So this is your D, this is your R, this is your T. And then for downstream, you're still going 18. It's R plus W, but it only takes 2 hours. And again, that's your distance, your rate, and your time. Is that okay? Clear?
Yeah. Hmm.
All right. Now, a lot of students, a lot of teachers, they multiply these numbers in. You're actually better off dividing both sides by that number. And you'll see why in a moment. So you get 4 equals R minus W and 9 equals R plus W. Is that okay how I got those?
Yeah.
All right. So then if you add the equations vertically, the W's cancel. Minus W plus W goes away, and you have 2R. 1R plus 1R is 2R. You divide by 2, and you get R equals 6.5. You can use either equation to solve for W. Um, Let me do it actually in the second one here. 9 equals 6.5 plus W. Subtract 6.5 from both sides. 2.5 equals W. So those are our still water is the R. The current, I use W for current wind. It's consistent. That's 2.5. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You want to sit in my lap? Sorry, I don't know if you heard that. I've got a cat here that's all of a sudden wants some attention. Okay. All right. Yeah, so here's a new question. I'll grab a snip here. Even though maybe you're saying, oh, these are all word problems, like these are all the variations on the questions you'll see. So you may not see anything new, like these are all the possibilities. Okay, so two angles are supplementary. Do you remember anything about supplementary from a previous math class, a geometry class?
Mm, no, I don't.
Okay, so supplementary means they add up to 180. So we're going to call the two angles X and Y. So X plus Y equals 180. Those are the two angles. That's what supplementary means. In another problem, you might see the word complementary. That means they add up to 90 degrees. Okay, now it says the measure of the larger angle. Do you want X or Y to be the larger angle? It doesn't matter, you just pick.
X.
Okay, so X is the larger angle. X equals 5 more than 4 times the measure of the smaller angle, which is Y. Could you try to write that as an expression for me? 5 more than 5 times the measure of the angle?
Would it be 5x plus 4? No, wait. Actually,
Try again.
5x times 4?
So more means plus, times means time, multiplication. So it's 4y plus 5, 4y plus 5. Is that okay? You see how I came up with that?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to take this 4y plus 5 and we're going to put it in for x. 4y plus 5 plus y equals 180. How would you solve this for y? What should we do first?
Mm,
What can you do with those two terms that I've underlined?
um, divide,
Well, eventually, but right now they're on the same side.
move it to the other side.
Eventually, you can combine them. You can add them together. So 4y plus 1y is 5y plus 5 equals 180. They combine here. Okay, now to solve this equation, do you remember how to do that? Which do you undo first, the multiplication by 5 or the addition by 5?
Um, the addition.
Yes, so you subtract 5, subtract 5. 5y equals 175. Divide by 5, so y equals 35. Okay, but that is not the final answer, right? We need both angles. How do we find the other angle? Well, you have to use one of the other equations, either that one that I've circled or this one that I've circled.
Okay.
So x is 4y plus 5. I want you to put that value in for y and tell me what you come up with.
So I would multiply the 35 by 4.
And then add 5 to it.
Okay. I got 145.
Okay. So does 35 plus 145, does it add up to 180?
Yes.
It does. So those are your two answers. Any questions, thoughts on that?
No.
All right. All right. Why don't you try to fill in the blanks there,
Okay.
and I will check your answer before you submit. So the first equation is like what's called the total equation. The second equation is the like the relationship equation.
Okay.
Good. I don't know if you need the comma, but that's good. And that is correct as well. Good job on that. All right, good job. Okay, so this time I'm going to grab a snip. This is like the one we did for the supplementary, just complementary.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and share my screen. So in this case, complementary means that they add up to 90 degrees. Complementary means they add to 90. So x plus y equals 90. Do you want x to be the larger angle or y to be the larger angle?
X.
Okay, so x is 12 less than 2 times the measure of the smaller angle. See if you can write the equation for me for that sentence.
Okay. Would it be 2y minus 12?
Yes, x equals 2y minus 12. And that's going to go in for x. So we have 2y minus 12 plus 1y equals 90. That's the 1y there. What should we do with the y's? What did we do in the previous problem?
Combine them.
Combine them, yeah. So it's 3y minus 12 equals 90. Will you try solving this equation for me, please?
For y, I got 34.
Okay. So for x, we go back to the x equals 2y minus 12. You put that 34 in for y.
Oh, I got 56.
It's 56, good. So 34 and 56.
So that would be the answer, 34 and 56.
Okay, try to set up the equation here.
Would that be the answer?
Yes, perfect. Okay, so this one requires you to set up the equation and then solve it. So let me grab a snip. I guess probably too much to ask you to do it on your own. At least to start here. They're only asking, wait, uh, oh, this one's different. I'm sorry. I should definitely work through this one. Thought it was like well, the other one. All right. Drew burned 1,800 calories Friday playing 1 hour of basketball and canoeing for 2 hours. On Saturday, he spent 2 hours playing basketball and 3 hours canoeing and birdie 3,200 calories. How many calories did he burn when playing basketball? Okay, so it's like 1B for basketball plus 2C for canoeing equals 1,800. And then it's 2B plus 3C equals 3,200. Take a look at those equations and see where how I came up with those.
So I would add a cross from the
Well,
equation.
we'll get to some, but is it okay? Is it clear how I set them up? So that's really the big thing.
Yeah, it was the hours within the 2 days.
Okay, so we're gonna multiply this equation by -2. The reason is we want to get -2b there. So it's gonna be -2b minus 4c equals minus 3,600. Except that won't work. Sorry. Yeah, that does work. So when you add these up, you get -1c equals minus 400. So c equals 400. Is that okay? How I got that?
Uh, yeah.
But that's not what they want. They want the basketball. So we got to be careful. This is for we want the basketball calories, not the C. So you have to go back to this equation. B plus 2C equals 1800. I want you to put this number in for C and solve for B, please.
Multiply by 2.
Well, you have to put the 400 in.
So I will multiply by 2. So I would divide by 1800.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I would divide my answer by 1800.
No, you're putting 400 in for C, multiplying by 2,
Yeah, I got 800.
and then you're going to move that number to the other side of the equation. What does B end up equaling? You have an answer for B?
Yeah, it's 1,000.
Yes, yes, B is 1000, and that's what it's asking for. You gotta be really careful to give it just what it's asking for, which is 1000. All right, so this is actually just like the previous one, um, meaning that it's the just different numbers, but the same sort of setup here. But let's see if you can tell me the two equations to write. I'm going to share my screen. All right, so give me the first equation from the first sentence here.
So it would be 1b plus 2c,
Okay, equals how many calories?
1400.
Okay,
And then 2b plus 3b.
can't be the same variable. So you said 2B plus
Oh,
3B,
c. Sorry.
and that's 2500 calories. So this time we're going to multiply the first equation by -2. Can you tell me what to write down here in the next line when we multiply everything by -2?
So it would be negative 2b minus negative 4c.
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
Negative 2b minus
Okay,
4c
good. Equals.
equals 1400.
You have to multiply everything, including that constant.
Oh. We negative 2800.
Good. Now, when we add these together, the B's cancel. What is 3C minus 4C? What does that become?
It would be negative 1.
-1C equals -300. So what does C equal?
Equals, 1.
Nope. How do you undo this -1 in front?
Oh, you add.
Nope, you don't add. It's multiplying the C.
Mm,
How do you undo multiplication?
Oh, you divide. Oh,
Divide by -1. What does C become? All right, I'm trying to get through this problem. I do have a stop here shortly. So the equation we're going to use is B plus 2C equals 1400. We're going to put that C value in here. So it's B plus 2 times 300 equals 1400. B plus 600 equals 1400. We're going to subtract 600 from both sides. B equals 800. All right, so we do unfortunately have to stop there for today.